is it working now?
Is it on this time?
Is it on? It's working. The memory card, all that, the power outlet's working. You got enough film? Okay.
Yeah. Are we paid up for Duke Energy? Is something going to happen here?
We're good.
I'm not sure I have anything new to say to you, other than last week against the Bears. The Bengals didn't apply much of a pass rush.
No, they
Still,
didn't.
I thought for most of the game outplayed Chicago.
Yep. I remember you were telling me Andy Dalton
was
seemed to keep control of the game well.
Yeah, until the fourth quarter when he had a chance to win the game and they went 3 and out. Marvin Lewis managed the clock poorly. They didn't get a pass rush. I already mentioned that.
You did.
Obviously, Ray Malug and Drake Kirkpatrick had really stupid penalties.
Mohamed Sanu with fumble.
Mohamed Sanu fumbled it.
I told you about that.
Carrying a loaf of bread. Do you really carry a loaf of bread that way, by the way?
It just depends. You carry it loosely.
Okay.
I
usually just hold it when you tie the bag and I just
right.
hold it.
Well, he may as well have carried it like that. He was hanging it out there. Let's get to this Monday Night Football game.
If ever there were a situation where the Bengals wouldn't just beat the Steelers, but beat the ever-living piss out of them, it would be this Monday night.
I agree, totally. This is the most susceptible I think the Pittsburgh Steelers have been in the past, I'll say 10 years probably.
Yeah, because, the Bengals have won their share of games against the Steelers. Clearly not as many as the Steelers have won over the Bengals over the years. But, usually they're of the variety of, 2009, second game of the season, they're losing, I think, like 13-0, 16-0, something like that, came back and won. The game last year where it felt like both coaches were trying to hand it to the other. The 15th game of the season last year, the one where the Bengals clinched the playoff bid, but always comes down to, having to win it in the fourth quarter. If ever there was a chance for the Bengals to cruise to victory over Pittsburgh, this is it. But whenever in the history of this franchise, I have felt like the Bengals are going to cruise to victory, not only don't they, usually they lose.
And here's the thing. If we lose, it always hurts losing to the Pittsburgh Steelers. But if you lose to an absolutely decimated Pittsburgh Steelers team on Monday Night Football.
In your home opener, when you've already lost the first game and you have the Packers coming here next week.
This will be, I think, one of the most heartbreaking losses for the Bengals in quite some time because we've always had to do this. You have to go through the Steelers. You have to go through the Ravens. I don't care if the Steelers are completely not the team they used to be. It's still any given Sunday. It's basically down to a 15-game season now since everybody in the AFC North lost. This is where you got to take, whether it be a game or not, at least a foothold in the AFC North.
Yeah, I was watching the Patriots last night, who did win but played very poorly. And I'm watching Tom Brady lose his mind last night. I'm watching him look at his wide receivers like, really, I got to throw the ball to this guy? And this guy, who's this? And,
they've got nobody either.
And defensively, I think they're better than Pittsburgh. But it feels like Belichick and Brady dragging the team with them. The Steelers right now feel similar. Injuries at running back. They drafted Le'Veon Bell. They've had to re-sign Jonathan Dwyer after cutting him. They lose Mike Wallace. Antonio Brown had a down year last year. I don't know who his targets are. The offensive line, which has been an issue in Pittsburgh for years. Marquise Pouncey's injured. Defensively, there's either some turnover or some age. It feels like Tomlin and Roethlisberger, if the Steelers are going to be good this year, are going to have to drag everybody with them.
Absolutely.
And
it's going to have to be a complete passing attack. It's going to have to be all on Ben Roethlisberger.
And I'm not sure that they're going to be capable of doing that, especially on Monday. At the same time, look, it's still Bengals Steelers.
Right.
And there's a Reds Cardinals feel to it where you can never assume all positives. You just you can never and again. This team lost its mind in Chicago last week in 2 critical situations. Now add in Monday night, add the Steelers, add the crowd. Do they maintain their poise in situations in Chicago?
Well, and that's the thing, is that the Cincinnati Bengals, and I don't care who's been at the helm as far as the quarterback goes, they don't perform well on a national stage. I mean, especially Andy Dalton as of late, just on a regular Sunday stage, the guy seems like he gets rattled pretty easily. He did control the game, in Chicago, but there were key situations where we needed to step up and get these first downs. Some of his pass selection was a little off, but Monday Night Football, there's no room for mistakes like that.
I line up Geno Atkins, Domata Peko. I line up the entire defensive line against the guy replacing
Blast the middle.
Just blast the middle.
I agree.
The most disappointing thing of the game last week was for everybody talking about how good the defensive line is going to be. Jay Cutler was upright all night or all day, and the play of the game that nobody's talking about, the 2nd and 20 to wrap up the game, Cutler scrambles for 18 yards. It's things like that. It's plays like that Roethlisberger has made a career out of.
Yeah.
Situations like that. If you keep it close, you don't know what that guy is going to do. I think the Bengals are going to win the game. frankly, I just think they have a better team. I think the situation is ripe. I can't see these guys going 0-2. I think there will be an extreme sense of urgency. But as much as it feels like this should be the week where the Bengals finally blow out the Pittsburgh Steelers, I can't go that far. The spread right now is 7.5.
Wow.
I think Pittsburgh is going to cover that. I think the Bengals win. I'll say something like, I'm going to go 24-17.
I am talking a complete take them to the woodshed ass whipping. Bengals 35, Pittsburgh 17, and it'll be points that probably don't even matter. So
Really?
I think this is where Cincinnati is going to be partying all the way up till kickoff, and we're going till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning.
I'll be
Easily.
with you. That'll
Thank
be big.
you.
Yeah,
Good.
I will party with you.
I'm looking forward to it. Come down to Tin Roof afterwards,
I'll be
or
there.
down to the Holy Grail. I know
Yeah.
you'll be broadcasting there.
Yeah, I'm at the Holy Grail. You're at Tin Roof. Either way, post game, it's going to be, as the kids say, off the chain.
Off the chain.
Yeah.
Off the chain is
It's
what
going to
they
be
say.
all right. So
Chain.
they're going to be 1-1 when we talk next week, and
Yep.
we have to cut a video 4 more times.
All right, I like this.
All right, we'll talk again.
Practice.
We got this. This works. The camera. We saved it. Did you hit
Done.
save?